house that in some ways encapsulates as much of the full range of political organizing in Harlem over many decades of the 20th century would be A. Philip Randolph.
Asa Philip Randolph, or better known as A. Philip Randolph, was born in Crescent City, Florida, in 1889. He grew up in Jacksonville, Florida during the beginning of the black and white relationship. The first approachment of A. Philip Randolph to the socialism was through the book The Souls of Black Folk by W.E. Du Bois.
Co-editor of a magazine called The Messenger, advocating for taking down capitalism as really the only true road to racial equality.
A young A. Philip Randolph with economist Chandler Owen decided to participate in what was the magazine The Messenger in 1917. The Messenger aligned both the white and black establishment by supporting socialism, as well as the revival of the new Crown Negro, black intellectuals and political leaders who challenged both reactionaries like Booker T. Washington and civil rights leader like W.E. Du Bois. In a particular way, Randolph's socialism was an uneven combination of traditional religious reformism, economic determination, fervent internationalism, and the ideals of Karl Marx. Randolph believed that socialism were actions that take place between management and labor. Through the trade union, the working class could increase. As well, it could get a greater decision-making power. And by that time, Randolph and Owen shared the same opposition to the World War I. One of the biggest actions led by A. Philip Randolph was the organization of the March on Washington in 1941. The purpose of the all-black mobilization was to pressure the Roosevelt administration to enact a series of demands, primarily the desegregation of the U.S. armed forces and the enforcement of what would be later be termed affirmative action. Before the march was to start, President Roosevelt agreed to a compromise by signing Executive Order 8802, providing racial discrimination. Despite the lack of executive actions on a host of other issues, Randolph agreed to accept Roosevelt's offer and call off the march. 22 years later, a second march began, led by A. Philip Randolph again.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
The March on Washington in 1963 resulted with a bigger impact. It had the support of Martin Luther King Jr., organizations such as NAACP, National Urban League, and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, against the advice of the more radical Students' Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC. The organization of A. Philip Randolph and the speech of Martin Luther King, I Have a Dream, made the March on Washington in 1963 one of the greatest movements of the civil rights history.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Negroes want the same things that white citizens possess. All of their rights.